Alright, so I decided while I was going to put my laundry in that we're going to work on the little flashing lights thing that, you know, everybody wants me to try to make a flag out of the lights. See, that's the thing. Yeah, but not at the wall, Michael. So, see, they gave me red, white, and blue LEDs. But the thing about them is, you know, they're a little 4x4 circuit board. So, yeah. Now that's funny, Mr. Wells. Twitch just now informed me that you're watching me. But you've been here for a while. Okay, yes, most ovens and most dryers are 240, but the rest of your house is 110. Or I should say, half a hot or one hot leg instead of two. So, what this little circuit is, it's a couple of transistors and some diodes hooked to a 555 timer that cause the lights to blink, and then it's driven by a 4017 series chip, which I want to say that's either a buffer chip or a counter chip. So let's see what we can find out on that, because I am not 100% sure on that. So let's kick that off. Kick that on. Let me go over here. Let's see, what does a CD4071 do? Or 4017. BE datasheet, is this a BE? Yes, this is a BE. Okay, it's from Texas Instruments. It's a CMOS counter divider. Okay, that's what I thought it was going to be. Was a counter chip. So you feed a clock pulse into it, and then it does and then it fires these outputs in order. So the 555 is generating the impulse, and then the output is going. These outputs are going to the transistors, and the transistors actually drive the LEDs. And I did it again. I closed my chat window. Okay, let's turn the workbench back on, turn the monitor back off. Okay, things are back to normal, even though I shut the wrong window. Okay, tools are piling up again. out of my way. Okay, so I have a bunch of diodes. All my... Oh, nope. Not all my resistors are in the same value. Because I got a 2K, a 2.2K, 10K, 10K, and 10K. But it looks like they gave me two 2Ks here. Red, brown, black, brown. Or is it brown, brown, black, brown, red? You know what? I think that's just a flat 2K resistor. Nope, it's a 2.2K resistor. Excuse me. So what does that 2K resistor do? Okay, so that 2K resistor comes from... What do we got? Okay. So we got the positive power comes through a 2.2K resistor, then comes back across through the variable resistor, which then goes to the two capacitors. Or no, only one of the capacitors, the electrolytic, and then the two pins on the 555. So that all controls the speed. So putting a 2.2K resistor in there instead of a 2K resistor will be fine. It'll just mean I won't be able to slow this down quite as much as the original designer of the circuit board intended. So with a 555 timer, I forget which mode this is called, but you can put it in... I think this is a astable mode. That what it does is it charges up a capacitor and then discharges it. And based on the value of... Or it lets a capacitor charge up and then it discharges it. And based on the value of these resistors here is how fast it charges. And then you can do other things to limit how fast it discharges as well. And that's how you get a 555 timer to pulse at a certain rate. And you can put a variable resistor in and you can change that rate. Ah, see, now you're getting into phase math there, Jinx. That always gets fun when you're dealing with a multi-phase system. Because you got to know the angle of offset. Which, yeah, in most three-phase systems, it's 120 degrees out of phase. See, we do something weird in the US where we call it split phase, where it's 240 volts hot to hot and 120 volts hot to neutral or hot to ground. Now mind you, if you go to ground, it will trip your breaker or your GFCI if you have one. Because not all homes are required to have GFCI in the US. They're only required to have it on circuits that are near water sources, so bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoors. Now, I like the way the UK does it in the fact that you have, what is it, an RCI, I think, or whatever, where it protects the whole circuit, regardless of where it is in the house. I think that is so much better than here. Okay, I don't know what it is about Twitch, but like I was saying, Jinx, I like it better in the UK where they got the whole house GFCI. But as soon as I hit 10 viewers on my dashboard, my kilobits per second tank and I lose a bunch of frames. And then I go back to 9 viewers or 8 viewers and I'm fine again. It's like Twitch doesn't want me to get more than 9 viewers at a time. All my resistors are in. Now I need to put my diodes in. Okay, these are 1N418s. They're standard Zener diodes. They're using them here to prevent voltage from going backwards from one output to another. Because a diode is like a one-way valve. It only lets current flow one way through it. Now, there are breakdown voltages that if you overcurrent a diode in the reverse direction, it will break down and start conducting backwards. It's bad for the diode and usually bad for your circuit because there's a reason diodes are there. They're to keep current from going the wrong way. And these are nice because these actually are kind of they're nice because they can take a lot of abuse heat-wise, being that they're glass diodes, the Zeners. But also at the same point, you gotta be careful when you're like bending the leads and stuff, because you can break the glass. Oh, and I don't have any spares of these to show you. These are actually kind of cool when they go when you reverse voltage them at enough voltage. Because if you reverse current these at enough, they will actually pop. What are you doing with them that they go bad, Mr. Wells? I've yet to have a GFCI ever go bad on... Well, take that back. I had one go bad on me. The one for my dishwasher. But that's because my dishwasher was leaking water onto it. When I pulled the dishwasher out and pulled the outlet out of the wall, water came pouring out of the hole in the wall. So, yeah, had to fix the dishwasher too. Okay. There's all the resistors and the diodes in. Ah, it's a little legs. Little leg, little leg. I hear somebody pawing through Legos in the background. Solder sticking to my tip. See, eventually I'd like to get into designing my own circuit boards too. But I need a decent design software. And then I would have to learn said design software. And I know there's like 27 different CAD software for circuit design out there. And I think the one that I keep hearing the most is like KeyCAD. Okay, make sure none of those are sticking up too far. Make sure we got a decent solder on all of them, because not all of them were soldering decently. Okay, they're good. Snips. Yeah, I forget when they mandated GFCIs here in the States. But like I said, they only require it on outlets that are going to be near a source of water. I personally, like I said, would like it back at the breaker panel, protecting the whole circuit. That way, when you trip one, all you do is go to the breaker panel. You don't have to hunt through, okay, which outlet in this circuit is the GFCI outlet. Like the one in my kitchen is behind my dishwasher. And it powers every outlet in my kitchen. So if I pop the GFCI, I have to pull the dishwasher out to get to it. Okay, all my diodes and resistors are in. Let's see, what's my next tallest component? That's going to be probably the IC sockets. Let me see. Yep, they're the same height, so we'll solder that in at the same time. My little capacitor is the same height as the IC sockets. So. Really? Seriously? It just fell on the floor. Where did it go? Ugh. I shed a lot, evidently, because there was hair on the floor. I need to vacuum in here. Okay. Wow, Jinx. Yeah, that is an old house if it's still got the screw ends. My grandmother's house had that up until about 10 or 12 years ago. And we had to redo the line for her washer, or her dryer. Because we found out that the cabling going to her dryer was still the old aluminum wiring. So we decided, when replacing that, we go ahead and replace the fuse box too. Oh, Kenley, I just so I don't knock it over. But what that is it's just got some, you know, metal shavings in there, and it's used to clean the tip of the solder off the tip of my soldering iron. But it's mainly so I don't tip the thing over while I'm using it. Yeah, I could do that. I've thought about it. I also have chunks of solder floating around too that I've thought about throwing in the bottom. Because I have that is just a solid chunk of lead solder. And Kanakuli, thank you for the follow. I dropped something and I don't know what I dropped. I don't see it, so I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that stuff is the stuff that that's lead-free. That is used for brazing copper pipe for water. Hi, you. Everyone, that's my daughter. Okay, let's see. What is my next tallest thing? Is it going to be the transistors, the capacitor, or these? Might be a toss-up. Transistors are just a hair taller than that. Let's move the JST connector over here. Capacitor sits taller than that. Okay. Oh, I'm at it. How about this variable resistor? What height does it sit at? It's just higher than that. lower than that. Okay. So it looks like my JST connectors are next, guys. And as usual, I have issues with one not wanting to stay in. Okay, there we go. Well, it's not necessarily USA themed, but it just happens to be those are the colors of LEDs that it shipped with, is a white panel, a red panel, and a blue panel. And I was actually thinking about leaving it up to you guys whether I keep a full panel the same color, or if I try to make patterns in them, or if I just dump all the LEDs out and randomly mix them up and then randomly solder them in. All of those are nice and flush. They are. Yeah. Same trick with soldering in these you know, the sockets for chips. Works for connectors as well. Or even LEDs when I get to those. Where you only solder one side of them, make sure that they're in nice. And then solder the other side. Unless, of course, you don't care how your board looks. Then you can just throw them in willy-nilly. Yeah, probably will make a nice 4th of July decoration, which is actually coming up soon. What is it, like 3 weeks? Or is it only 2 at this point? Yeah, I know. Jinx linked me the other day. There's like, what was it, like 17 different country flags that are red, white, and blue? Not just the US. See, I think they're bright blue LEDs. I don't think they're, light blue. Variable resistor in. And these are all the same transistor, right? An 8050? Yep, 8050. 8050. And an 8050. And these are all standard power switching transistors. And what they're doing is the CMOS output of this counter can't drive the LEDs directly, so they're using the CMOS counter to drive the transistors. transistors, I like to solder the center pin first. And then check how flush they are to the board, etc., etc., etc. Okay, not sticking out at wonky angles, still in there, nice, okay. Yeah, sorry, I don't think I can do Luxembourg spoon. I know my German viewers would like it if I did that. But... okay. Okay, the only thing left I got on the main board is the charge capacitor for the 555 timer. And when making a either an astable or a monostable .555 timer circuit. This is what this capacitor is one of the things that you change to change the timing on it. The other is the resistors. Okay, time to put my 555 timer in. Make sure I get him the right way. He's in. I get my counter in the right way. Okay. There's the main control board with the power leads. Wait, there's my power in. Now, you really want me to try to make a flag, huh? Okay. The Netherlands flag. How would I do the Netherlands flag? So literally you want me to do red, white, and then blue. Or actually, because I couldn't do it that way because I wouldn't have enough LEDs. But I could do one all red, one all white, and one all blue. But then it's taller than it. See, I don't know if I could do red, white, and blue spoon. Because I've only got 4 by, well, let's see, yeah. Because I got 4 tall by 12 wide. And some rough edges. So what I'm doing is I've just got a file here. I tried seeing if I could scrape it, but the file still seems to work the best. On these fiberglass board, well actually I don't know if they're fiberglass. Yeah, I could go France, you know, red, white, and blue, or is it blue, white? Yeah, I forget, but... See, Spoon, that's why I was wondering if maybe it would be funner. Yeah, I don't think I have enough white LEDs, Spoon, to do that. How many white LEDs do I have? I have some white LEDs, but I don't think I have enough in there to replace both the red and the blue. Because I can do the red, white, and blue panels, and then we can see about arranging them into a flag. Or, like I said, I can do random. It's a 27K, or actually I think this is just a 27 ohm resistor. In some very tightly spaced holes. flung an LED out. A red one. I'm gonna have to find that here in a second. Love how under my desk just eats everything. But I found that capacitor from earlier. Not going crazy, right? I'm missing one, right? Yeah, I'm missing one. boxes of random junk are building up underneath my desk. I gotta clean those up. But I found the LED. And like I said, I found my capacitor that I dropped earlier today. I can put him back in here. Yes, I lost things again, Lady G, but I found them. I got so much random junk just piled up under my desk. But I pulled one of these wires out and one of the LEDs went flying and I had to go find it. See, Spoon, when it comes to that, it's hard to lose something you never had. Yeah, see, and Lady G, mine's random electrical things under my desk. Like, here, I'll pull one up for you here in just a second. Let me get this resistor in. Like this guy. It's a custom dialer that was built by one of my coworkers 20 years ago. It's for a fire alarm panel. They didn't make what we needed at the time 20 years ago. So this is a microcomputer using an Intel 80... Which one is this one? Is this the 8085? This is the Intel 8052 CPU, and it basically, based on the inputs here from the fire alarm panel, is what message it sent to a pager via this modem. Therapeutic electrocution? Shit. I don't know where mine is. My TENS unit is missing at the moment. But I got new batteries for it and new electrodes for it. It's probably over on that desk over there somewhere. That's my catch-all desk. Yeah. Ever since starting this new job, I really haven't had to use mine, Lady G. My back hasn't been in as much pain. Now, it was a little bit of pain when I got back from camping over Memorial Day weekend. But I think that's because my air mattress needs to be replaced. And I ended up sleeping on, you know, by morning I was sleeping on the ground kind of situation. Yeah, I can imagine that. I primarily do mine for my compressed lumbar. Okay, so are we doing a pattern? Are we doing each panel individually and trying to make a flag out of each, you know, the panels combined, or am I just doing random? I know Spoon wants the Netherlands. Which I might be able to do. Because I kind of like the idea of random, but my donators are what bought this, so that's why I'm asking you as chat. What would you like me to do? Ah, it sucks that they can't. That's the worst, is when they can't find what's wrong, Lady G. At least with my back, they know exactly what's wrong. Ugh, that's never fun. Yeah. My lower back, they know exactly what's wrong, is I compressed my spine in a rollover accident. And so what happens is the discs between the vertebrae will inflame, and because they're compressed, when they inflame, and it pinches my spine and causes lots of pain. Ah, no, I don't want that. I don't want a YouTube video. Yeah, again, I don't think I can be very picky on how well I can do that, Spoon. Because I've literally got 4x4, and I've got 3 4x4 squares. Now, if I wanted to build my own circuit board, I could probably redo this, but maybe another time. See, because I just don't have the resolution to do that. I gotta make sure I put the LEDs in the right way too. That bad boy up. Sorry about that. My shock mount's supposed to take that out. That's weird. So if I remember right, shorter one is negative, if I remember right, on LEDs. Yep, shorter one is negative, so all my shorts go to that side. Yeah, I don't think I can do that well, Spoon. Shorter to that side. With the resolution that I have anyways. I think I just blew an LED, guys. I did, I blew an LED. that sucks. I blew an LED. Alright, blue or red LED, guys. So, I'm gonna have one oddball LED. Because that's a white, isn't it? Okay. Well, so -2 that side. Ooh, depending on the flash pattern though, guys, I just realized if I do all these panels like this, one solid color on each panel, depending on the flash pattern, they might resemble like a police car. Not all the holes are drilled quite right on these. Oh, come on. Okay. Thank you. Okay, all the shorter ones are to that side, okay. That one random red one looks kind of weird in there. But I don't have any clear reds, so... Ah. Come on. Yeah, not all of the holes were drilled quite right in this thing. Okay, all those are going the same direction. Okay. Now time for tedious soldering. Oh, come on, solder. Thank you. Okay, what I'm doing here is they're not quite all sitting flush. I've only soldered one side of them, so what I'm doing is putting a little pressure with my finger from the other side, heating up the solder, letting it cool, and then letting off the pressure. Bridge the two legs together. That's really great. Sorry, thought I felt something crawling on my leg. I'm imagining things. There's one panel done. I'll have to cut all the things off here in a minute. But I'll do that all at once. that one. Let's see, that one's sitting up a bit high. That one's sitting up a bit high. That one's sitting up a bit high. The random one seems a bit up high. This one's a bit crooked. This one's a bit crooked. Hopefully all the reds work. I've got another one that looks like it's scorched. Okay. If you can hear that in the background, that's my son playing Spore, which is an underrated game in my opinion. I mean, it had a lot of potential, but I personally think they just needed more time to develop it. Ah, come on. Stick to the pad, not my soldering iron. I am just about done, guys, with soldering because my eyes are starting to go kind of cross. I only have one more panel to solder after this, so we're going to at least finish this project. But we're not going to be starting another one. And I just bridged that LED out because the solder is not sticking to the pads, it's sticking to my soldering iron, which is getting really annoying. I wasn't doing this on the last one, so. Okay, that's another panel down. Final panel. just this section in the solder that's doing it, guys, because it's doing it on this board too. But it wasn't doing it on the main board or the last light board. Okay, final solder joints. Soldering iron cooperates. Like I said, I don't know if it's the tip, if it's these LEDs, or if it's just this section of the solder, but it's being really like sticking to my soldering iron instead of where I need it to. You know what, this is older solder and I'm not seeing the typical smoke come off of it. I bet you the problem right now is this section doesn't have any flux left in it or something. Let me try a different chunk. Yeah, that's flowing a little better. I think it's a flux issue. No. And this is why you really shouldn't use old solder, because the flux does go bad in it after a while. Okay, final board soldered up. magnetizer because these snips have become magnetized. And it's really annoying with steel leads. Now, I've thought up a potentially useful but yet illegal use for this kit, depending on the flash pattern. Because this kit runs off of 12 volts. What do most cars run on? 12 volts. What color are they? Red, white, and blue. Don't know about like Germany, but I know here in the US, most cop cars, their color pattern is red, white, and blue. So it could be fun, exciting, and illegal. You know what I just realized, guys? If I had kept the 24 volt power supply hooked up, I could have used that one to step it down to 12 just to put a load on that guy, but this thing, we're probably talking milliamps that it draws.
Let's do a celebration.
You know, at 4 LEDs at about 30 milliamps a piece. Well, we'll say 16 LEDs at 30 milliamps a piece. Well, that could actually pull a fair amount of oomph. So, I'll hook one up. 2 up. Ugh, really? Freaking JST connectors. Pain in the butt sometimes.
And they're all healing. Wow.
Alright, for any epileptics lurking in chat, warning, this is going to be some flashing LEDs. Okay. Crank this guy up to, well, we'll start it at about 10 just to make sure. Okay, so the red are really bright. Yeah, those can mimic a cop car quite easily.
Wow. They can.
And they run off, I'm pumping 13.8 volts into this thing at 3 amps. So it could very easily be installed in a car. Highly illegal here in the US, and I'm assuming in Germany as well. But now we can see what that variable resistor is for. Ooh. So yeah, there we go. It's almost in time with the music too. I might order more of those little kits because they're only like $1 a piece. Well, actually, here. They're $3.70 US a piece. And like I said, you could put them on a car. It would be highly illegal, but you could put them on a car. They don't sell them in multiple kits anymore. They used to sell them where you could buy them as multiples. So like a pack of 10 of them. But I am probably going to order more of those. Yeah, I forget what the ticket is here in Arizona for that, but yeah, it is. They'll ticket you, and then if it's permanently attached to the car, they'll what do you call it? They'll impound the car, and then have one of their mechanics remove it. And they probably won't be very nice about the removal process either. Kid Connor 98, thank you for the follow. Okay, I'm going to flip those over because those are starting to hurt my eyes a little bit. But now I'm curious how much current they draw. So, we are going to kick that off. Where did my thing go? It fell on the floor. Yeah, see, I've never had anything flashing on any of my vehicles ever. I did have a work vehicle one time that, see, I used to install strobe lights in cop cars as one of, as part of one of my jobs, and I was actually doing work on an airport one time and needed indicators on my vehicle so I could drive out on the runway in the taxiways and stuff. So I got a light bar for a cop car out of our back storage room and proceeded to install all yellow lights in it. So none of them were red. They were every single one of them was yellow. And then I was driving to the airport, and then I got pulled over by Highway Patrol asking me why the heck I had, a police light bar on a truck. And then when I proceeded to flip them on and show them, it was just They're just yellow. They're hazards. I'm going to be driving on an airport. Please let me go. I don't like those output screw terminals too much, but there we go. Okay, I'm hooking this up to our earlier project to see just how much current this can pull. Yeah, Spoon, here in Arizona, the only time you get jail time for that kind of shenanigans is if you impersonate a police officer to the point where you actually pull somebody over and try and, you know, take their driver's license and everything and actually act like you're giving a ticket to them. Power this guy up. Alrighty. We will set the voltage. Ooh. 13.8 volts. Okay, 16. Okay, it's drawing 900 milliamps at its peak. Or not 900, 90 milliamps at its peak. Oh wow, that's swamping out the camera.
It's just like the cube.
Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize it was swamping out the camera that bad. So yeah, at its peak, it's pulling about 100 milliamps at 12 volts. Well, 13.8 volts. I'm going to have to buy some more of those kits. But I have been streaming for almost 6 hours today, guys. So why did it stop? Did I burn out the 555 timer or something? Something blue. Something went pop, guys, while I wasn't looking.
What is for dinner?
Okay, so it wasn't the 555. Let's see, if it was the counter. The counter chip popped, guys. Or maybe it was the red LEDs. So something ain't right, guys, in this circuit. And I think it has something to do with this chip. I'll have to read the specs on this chip, but I have a feeling that this chip isn't designed to run at 12 volts. Or it's designed to run in pretty close. Tolerances. Or is it this power supply? Because the heatsink on the voltage regulator for the 5 volts is pretty dang hot right now. So we will power that down. We'll go back to this power supply. And see if it's the power supply or if it's the flashy light unit. I have a feeling that that Texas Instrument. Nope, I smell burnt electronics. What popped? Ew, I see stuff oozing out the side of this guy. I don't know if you can see that, but the plastic oozed out the side of this chip. So I think that chip is not rated for 12 volts. To the spec sheet we go. What was that? That was a CD 407BE data sheet. Workbench, big monitor. We'll go back here to this. Pulse width. Where is my specifications on voltage? Says that it can do up to 15 volts. If I'm reading that right. Yeah. Okay, it's hard to read on that monitor. Give me a sec here. Hey, James. So I just made a thing go pop. Yeah, 5 volt, 10 volt, or 15 volt. Or quiescent current at 20 volts. Ah, but did they get me the high voltage type? I don't think I popped the 555 timer. I think the 555 timer is okay. Let's test each LED bank really quick. Okay, so that bank is working. The reds didn't short out. The whites didn't short out. And the blues didn't short out. Okay, so the LED panels are still good. Yeah, I think I toasted the CMOS flashy thingy. Oh, and I just realized sound's off. Well, I can get the whites to blink. Or the blues to blink. Oh, wow. Ow, ow, ow. Yes, this chip is toast. That's okay. I'll put that in my review. And I can link the video. So, yeah, it can run at 12 volts, but only at short duty cycles. Anyways, like I was saying before that went poof. It has been about 6 hours. I've got to finish up my laundry. I got to think about getting something to eat for dinner. And I have to go to work in the morning. So, thank you all for those who've joined us.